Philly sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Mixon. And not much there. Maybe a yard up in the 24.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 3rd down. Dennis. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards it. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Allen Hurns, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive.
The losing streak can take on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Gone!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Dennis. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Shaq Lawson in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
It's caught by Mike Evans. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3.
On 3rd down, Dennis. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. And out come the Dolphins now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here's Humphreys. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go. 3, 9.
Off the play fake. Dennis. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's a tight game here early. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Dennis. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Willis in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
And that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Taking it about the 36. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, good move at the 10. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And it's caught. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. P.J. Hall there to make the tackle.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now back to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught at the 10. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there for the Dolphins. 59 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll look to throw here. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney. Hot.
Operating from the gun. Dennis. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll drop to throw. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw on second down. Dennis over the middle to Evans. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Dennis, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
To throw on 3rd down. Dennis. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's caught right side, it turns. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now Joe Mixon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
To throw on 2nd down. Dennis dumps it off to Mixon. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back to throw. Dennis. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on 2nd and goal. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dennis looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Humphries. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
To throw on 2nd down. Dennis. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Dennis. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Dennis to Mixon on the check down. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. On the right side, caught by Green. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they'll run it here. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Here we go now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a solid run down inside the 30. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 3rd down, that's Garner. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
A road win in the National Football League.